Tales from the Video Store is now on SoundCloud. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or YouTube. If you want to get more Tales from the Video Store, be sure to visit our Patreon page. Everybody be cool. You be cool. He wanted to cut it off when the little one humped the moose head. He wanted to cut it off when the two other monsters started humping. He actually bought the 3-movie set bundle. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Doug Wall, Garrick Lane, and Lee Bridges. Tales from the Video Store is now. It's Clue.
Yeah, it's
It's Clue.
Modern day Clue.
We just watched the trailer of Guns Out, and it looks like modern day Clue with a ensemble cast. I'll watch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I mean, it looks great.
They don't really make those type of movies anymore, sort of whodunit type movies.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the last one, like Gosford Park.
There was that remake of Murder on the Orient Express like 2 years ago.
That's right.
And I
Kenneth
watched
Branagh.
it and immediately forgot it existed. And I love the one with the 70s with Sean Connery in it.
Kenneth Branagh, man, usually makes good movies.
Oh, I love Kenneth Branagh.
I actually watched his
It's not
5-hour Hamlet and loved it.
I didn't think it was a badly made movie.
I tell you, what's that movie he made? Kenneth Branagh. It's a murder mystery. Half of it's in black and white. Like there's a murder, but Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson are the reincarnation of the murdered people. And the murder was like in the 30s. And it's like all the stuff in the 30s is in black and white. It's such a cool movie.
I know what you're talking about, and I can't think
What's
of the
that
name
movie
of it.
called? Dead Again?
Yes.
Dead Again.
Yes.
So that's a good movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a movie nobody, like, you never hear that movie talked about.
If you take Frankenstein out, then his body of work's pretty good.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's not a good movie. Speaking of monster movies, that's not a good one.
Not a good
That's
one.
definitely not a good one.
Yeah.
Not a good one. How we doing out there in podcast land? Did you guys have a good week?
Had a good week. How was your trip?
Oh, it was good. Did only 20 miles. Was planning on doing 40. Did only 20. We had some technical issues, and a couple people didn't want to continue on, and so I just decided to come home and get caught up on work because I've been gone for like 2 weeks.
How many people were in your group?
4.
Okay. That's 20 miles. That's a lot. I mean,
20 miles is a long time.
It sounds like nothing because you drive it in half an hour.
Yeah.
But, like
hoofing it 5 miles is a day.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's funny because when we were done, I was thinking, oh man, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to get back to my car. And when the lady came, she looked it up. She said, "Well, it's only 17 miles from here." I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
17 miles? Really? That's it?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, your shuttle will be $30." I'm like, "I walked 3 days for that 17 miles.
Right.
You're going to tell me you're going to drop me back off in my car in 25 minutes?"
Yeah, they say like 100, more than 200 years ago, most people never traveled more than like 50 miles from where they were born.
Crazy.
Unless you were in the army or something. Yeah. But 17 miles, that's a long way to walk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was long. It was good though. I could have done 2 more days, but
I hate to see the size of the bastard that have to chase me to one to walk 17 miles. It'd have to be a big one.
It has to be a real big one for sure.
well, did we watch any movies?
I did. I watched a couple monster movies.
Oh yes.
Nice.
I wanted to watch something that we'd actually spoken about before, but I think I'd seen it at some point, maybe in my youth.
Right.
So I watched Humanoids from the Deep.
Outstanding.
And it's a 1980 movie about a small fishing village, and it becomes inhabited by these gigantic fish-like men that, really all they want to do is rape the women and kill the men.
Right. Well, if you think about it, in reality, salmon travel hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles to reproduce.
Right.
So the fish do have that reproduction drive. And this is, of course, it's a silly monster movie from the 80s. but it takes that idea to, a Roger Corman produced monster movie level.
Yeah.
You're going to get some. I once heard it described as Jaws for perverts, and
That's awesome.
I kind of got that same kind of a vibe from it, to be honest with you.
That was on my list of watching.
Vic Morrow was in it
Vic Morrow?
from Twilight Zone. He was the bigot from the Twilight Zone movie, the bigot that gets transported
he's
back
got
to.
killed during the making of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But got transported back to Nazi-occupied Germany. And, he was a good actor, man. He was in a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
He was really the only
it's on
person
the
from it I
internet.
recognized.
I almost saw the footage one time. Because apparently HBO made a documentary called Chopper Down just about movie chopper accidents. And I thought it was saying, would you like to see a clip from this documentary? And no, apparently it was, because it had the footage in it, and the HBO was just like, we can't show it.
Oh yeah, you see it. The blade comes
Dude,
down.
I never X'd out anything, so I'm like, no, I don't really need to see Jennifer Jason Leigh's dad and two Vietnamese kids get chopped up by a helicopter blade.
Nope.
I don't need to see that.
Nope.
Like,
But it was thoroughly entertaining.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you've never seen it, you like, late 70s, early 80s horror, this is perfect. It's got nudity in it. It's got humor in it.
Yep.
It's weird.
Directed by a woman?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was surprising. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
One thing, I know you've probably seen it multiple times. There's a scene where they're in the tent on the beach, and the guy has the dummy.
Okay, I love that in 80s horror movies, a guy who could never get a woman gets like a model.
Gets the hottest chick on the beach because he's a ventriloquist. But what I thought was strange is when he sets it down, and one of the fish dudes come, the eyes of the dummy are moving. I thought, man, that's super creepy.
Yeah, it is. And they never touch on it again. It's just a little thing they do in there. Yeah, like the eyes kind of track over to the fish.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's extra creepy.
And it's a well-made movie.
Yeah, it really, like, comparing it to Jaws,
Right.
sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
Until you watch it and it's like, maybe more like Orca.
Yeah, Orca. It's
Orca.
Orca for perverts.
Yeah. It's just, the effects in it are great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some nasty
Oh yeah,
effects in it.
Rob Bottin, guy did the effects of The Thing. That was one of his first big movies.
Yeah. It's a classic. I guess you'd call it a B grade.
Yeah, it's a B-grade movie in the best sense of the word.
Right, because it has everything that you're looking for out of a B grade. It checks off all the boxes. I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. And then I watched another movie, a newer movie from, it's either 2014 2015, called Zombeavers.
Yes.
Okay?
Which I've not seen.
By a guy named Jordan Rubin. I think this was his debut, who's like a comedy writer. And this movie is about a group of teenage girls, or early 20s girls, maybe they're college girls. We'll say they're college girls. They go to stay in this cabin in the woods with, no phones, no internet. There's like couple weird neighbors, and then of course the men show up, and kind of ruin everything, and they start drinking and partying and all this. And at the beginning of the movie, there's some guys driving like toxic chemicals, and one of the barrels gets tossed into the water source, and so these beavers become Zombeavers, and they come in.
Ooh.
Yeah, look, is it great? No, it's not. But was it entertaining? Absolutely. And the effects in it, for the most part, outside of some of the blood splattering and stuff,
right.
it uses like animatronic puppets and stuff. It's not a ton of CGI work. For what it was, lighthearted, silly, had some funny stuff to it, had some gruesome stuff to it, had some nudity to it. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just, it's more of like a modern day kind of B grade, which a lot of those I really don't like.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. But this one was, I don't know, silly enough that I enjoyed it.
I've seen a bit of the movie, like I say, like the first 10 minutes. It's like silly, but it's not trying to be ironic.
Right.
Like it's not like, it's not a fake movie about zombies. They just made a movie about zombie beavers. Like the beavers aren't a joke.
No.
Yeah, and it's similar to So a similar idea to Humanoids and Demons, the idea of like pollution and just sort of humans doing things in the environment.
Yeah.
Which that's in a lot of monster movies.
Oh, sure.
You know.
It takes from a lot of old ones. What
Oh, yeah.
happens in this?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's predictable and
Right.
and what have you. You know, but it's got a couple of shit moments.
Right.
You know, which
There
are
you go.
great.
Yeah.
You know, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
All right. I watched a movie, another Roger Corman movie from 1980. It was his Star Wars ripoff, Battle Beyond the Stars, with the guy who played John Boy in the Waltons.
Yeah.
I can't remember that actor's name. He was the Luke Skywalker in it, and it has George Papard in it, who is he's the Han Solo. His character is literally
Star Crash.
He's literally no. This is Battle Beyond the Stars. Star Crash was the movie with the chick in the bikini.
Oh yeah.
This is his slightly less. This is his classier one, written by John Sayles. You know.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Nice.
I guess when he really needed the money. And, but like George Papard's character is a space cowboy, and his name is Space Cowboy. Like, you know why? You know. And John Saxon is sort of a dollar store Darth Vader. His thing is he like wants to replace his body parts. Like he wants to live forever, so if he gets sick, he'll just cut that arm off, replace it with another arm. And but, it's 100% a remake, a space remake of the Seven Samurai. Like it has the same plot, beat for beat. And also the Magnificent Seven. And Robert Vaughn actually plays his character from the Magnificent Seven as in space. Like he's actually in the movie as basically just the sci-fi version of his earlier character. But I mean, it's interesting. Like they have a lizard guy. One of the aliens they get, they're like a hive mind. So there's thousands of them. So if one sees something, everyone on the planet sees it. So they fly around this little ship, and there's 5 of them. And the most interesting scene in the movie is one of them gets captured by John Saxon. He's got his arm damaged, so he puts on the alien's arm, and like they move sort of in unison. Like they walk sort of in a line, and so and he's looking at his arms like it's great. He's like, and they sort of pantomime grabbing John Saxon's dagger and start bringing it up to his throat, trying to slit the bad guy's throat, and he just freaks out, and they end up cutting his arm off with a real crappy looking chainsaw prop. But some of the dialogue is great because you can tell that John Sayles dialogue. Like you can tell he put way more effort into it than anybody else would have. And then, like I said, dollar store spaceships. Like they were not. This is not ILM. This was the 7 guys in Roger Corman's garage. Gluing stuff.
Oh,
together.
with the fish pole.
Yeah, like
swinging it around.
Well, they had the very early blue screen effects, but like what they have those great looking explosions in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, something will explode, then you will see the ship just fly through the explosion like it wasn't there, like they didn't really have it down, So it's sort of similar techniques to what was used in Star Wars, but not near as good. But I enjoyed it.
What's the year?
1980.
Same year.
Same year as Humanoids from the Battle Beyond the Stars. There's a ton of Roger Corman stuff on Prime. Like,
No, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. My Spectrum doesn't allow me to watch the internet.
Well, that kind of defeats the purpose of having it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a flaw.
Yes.
And guess what? You're still paying for it.
I agree.
Easily. And other than that, I watched Boar, the Australian.
Oh, did you?
I actually watched that and the one from 1984, Razorback. So there were 2 Australian giant pig movies, so I decided to watch both. Boar not nearly as good as Razorback. Razorback was Russell McKay. His movie directed right before Highlander. And Razorback is a good movie, but it looks just like a music video because that's when McKay was the biggest music video director.
Oh yeah.
But Boar's got a great cast. It's got Bill Moseley. It's got John Jarrett from the Wolf Creek movies. That guy who we were talking about him a couple weeks ago. The big giant guy, Tony Jaa fights in.
Right.
That giant guy, Nathan Jones. He's in it, but it's just not very good.
Believe it or not, I can't remember because I fell asleep during this movie.
Right.
My son and I were going to watch it, and then I haven't had the internet since, and I'll get to that when I get to my little section. But what's the actor's name? Hugh, the younger guy at the beginning.
Right.
He was actually one of the Aussie stars on the Real Dirty Dancing.
Oh, really?
So, yes. And so when I didn't know he was in Boar because I watched Boar when I got back, and I was like, hey, I know him. His first name's Hugh. I don't know his last name. But it's funny, he was actually in Boar.
Very cool.
And,
I mean,
I directed him last week, or worked with him last week.
The Boar puppet looks great, like when they use the physical monster. But there's some CGI in the movie that doesn't looks, it does not look good.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's kind of what you have to do. I mean,
right?
If they remade Humanoids from the deep right now, it'd be a CGI.
It would be unwatchable.
It'd be unwatchable.
It probably would be unwatchable.
Yeah.
Well, I had high hopes for our monster block, and I had planned on watching some obscure monster movies, but Charter Spectrum has dropped the ball this week, and I don't have any internet at the office. And they were supposed to come and fix it yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and they didn't, and then they didn't come yesterday, and then today I couldn't keep them on the line. They kept hanging up on me.
Right.
So I've literally been without any kind of internet besides my phone at a one bar here. So I have not been able to stream anything. So I have been at the mercy of, the DVDs that I have. So unfortunately, this is a very anticlimactic moment. But I watched From Dusk Till Dawn and American History X.
Nice. Both monster movies, sort of.
Yeah,
but monsters in both of them.
Yeah, there are monsters in both of them. And that's Ed Norton's best film ever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, without a doubt.
No doubt.
I don't think it'll get any better. That movie's, almost flawless.
Yeah.
Only thing I wish I could have seen Tony Kaye's cut.
Yeah, they said it was shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to have seen it, because he pretty much said, F you to Hollywood after that movie.
Yeah, when you use your pay for the movie you made to take out full-page ads of Variety telling people not to watch the movie, you've given up on your career.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think he's made a couple documentaries since then, but nothing. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, when you do that kind of stuff, it's kind of like, what's his name? Who did Boondock Saints?
Duffy.
Yeah.
But at least Tony Kaye's was over a principle.
Yeah,
his was over the cut of the movie. It wasn't over just being a giant douchebag.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean,
that definitely shouldn't compare those two guys. But we don't need to talk. I've been actually watching, believe it or not, and everybody's going to be tired of hearing me, but I've been Game of Thrones marathon in it. I'm going to watch all of them one more time just since it's over. So that's been kind of taking up some.
How do you like it on the second view?
Probably more than I like the first view so far.
Yeah.
No, we're not getting. I'm still with George R. I'm just finished the 4th season, so we're still with Martin's writing.
Right.
So of course it's fantastic, but then it starts to swill into season 6 is when everything kind of cuts up.
Into season 5 is when it starts to get questionable, and then after that, it's a fucking coin flip as to what It's
right.
Nothing comes from any kind of source.
Right.
Material. It's just
speaking of TV shows, I'm halfway through the second season, the Cobra Kai show on YouTube.
Is it good?
Dude, it's amazing.
Is it?
If you like the Karate Kid movies, there's no way you won't like it. Cool. Because it's not. They're not trying to redo it. It's like they use like footage that wasn't used in the movies for some stuff. It's why. And also, I think it helps. It's not an hour-long drama. It's only 30 minutes.
Yeah, right.
But it's very well done. You can tell the guys who wrote it, those 3 guys who write and direct all the episodes, they love the Karate Kid movies.
Cool. And
it takes stuff from all 3 movies. Like, it's not just like the first one. Like, it's very in depth.
So they do refer to Ralph Macchio. They refer to when he went to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Or
yep.
so.
He brings up the drum at one point.
Oh, nice.
And they refer to stuff from the 3rd movie. Like, it's really well done. Yeah.
You can't see that otherwise.
No.
You can't. That YouTube doesn't even allow you to go on iTunes and buy it, do you?
I don't believe so. Not as far as I know. They do give you a free month though, so it's not a free week; it's a free month if you want to do it.
Well, I did a free month on Hulu, and now I'm still paying for it.
Right.
Well, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how they get you. Yeah, because it's if I do that, I'll be watching it too. I'll have Shudder.
Yeah.
And then I'll have DC. I'll have everything.
Well, you start watching one thing, and then it evolves into something else, and then you're like,
that's how they get you.
I'll just keep it one more month.
Yeah.
6 months later.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that brings us to the movie of the week.
Yep.
Would you like to introduce this one, Lee?
Absolutely. It's 2006.
2005.
Well, made in 2005. It came out in the theaters very briefly in end of 2006.
Made less than $1 million.
Right. Well, I think they only did one weekend of screenings.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like a huge wide release.
Trying to recoup the loss.
Right. And it was the last film. There was a TV show called Project Greenlight, produced by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and it was a very cool. I think it was I don't like reality shows, but this was a good show.
Sure. Well, it is, but it's our interest.
That's true. That's very true. But they would contact. It was a screenwriting / directing contest. They would pick a script, pick a director, and then they would make that movie. And this is the third one, and it was. I think it was the best season of the show, and it was also the only one of the movies I actually watched.
Yeah.
The other two, it was a drama. I think one drama and one comedy is what they made.
Which is why they picked this one.
Right. Yes.
Which is why.
And also Wes Craven was involved in this season.
Right.
And very simple movie, very similar to Dusk movie you referenced earlier. A bunch of people trapped in a bar and monsters attack. But this one is more. It's closer to like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon than it is a regular movie. Like they're like literally like the way they would introduce characters, like how in the Roadrunner cartoons they would freeze frame and give you the character. They literally do that in this movie.
Yeah.
So it's very silly. It's
copied straight from Boondock Saints.
Yeah. Did the same thing there.
Right.
Yeah.
But so what do y'all guys think about it? The microphone's wrong, guys.
I hated it.
Right.
Hated it. I don't think that there was anything good, and in fact, if I didn't have to do it for the show, right when the little baby monster started humping the deer, I'd have cut it off.
Right.
I mean, that's where I was with it. It was not good. It was not good. The only thing that I did like, and it happened, unfortunately, in the first 4 minutes of the movie, I liked the one scene where the guy came in, and they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I've come to save all your asses."
Well, that's the
and then,
pitch.
like, bam! And then he dies.
That's the pitch.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And they did that great. Unfortunately, after that, it just,
right.
I don't know, man. Like, I didn't like the monsters. And you know me, I'm a cinematographer. I like stylistic camera work.
Yeah.
There was a couple times.
Yeah.
Doug and I talked about this before we went on air.
It's very muddled.
Where I'm like, dude, like I can't even watch that because it's making me. I'm gonna have a seizure.
I'm gonna seize out.
Yeah.
If I have to continue to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just not good. Henry Rollins, like that could have been such a good character. You know what I think? And it makes total sense. It's
Right.
Project Greenlight. It's a first-time director, first-time writers.
Yeah.
And I think the director was not very good at directing.
Right.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And because of that, the whole movie fell
I
apart.
specifically remember on the episode on the show, like they picked the script. Everybody liked the script. It was funny. It was the kind of movie. It was a monster movie. That's what they wanted to do. And Matt Damon pushed for that director. Like, he's like, we picked this fucking monster movie, even though that's what the season was about. And he's like, we should get this guy because he's the most, like, he thought he was the most like artistic. Like Matt Damon really, I remember pushing for that. And there was a bunch of the guys there was one guy who did his thing was his short film. I don't remember the guy's name, but it was about a guy in a dentist chair, and he's sitting there, and the dentist has just got a booger slowly descending out of his nose. Got his nose right over the guy's mouth. And it was so like weird and twisted. I was like, damn, pick that guy.
Yeah.
Because it literally made you tense just thinking about being in that situation. But yeah, I agree that they did pick the wrong director. But that guy's just not very.
He just didn't do a very good job with Henry Rollins. Like he had all those people, and they killed off Jason Mewes, and I understand that was probably just a favor from Affleck,
Right.
but just I don't know. It was just not good.
Right.
Like, it was terrible.
Yeah, Jason Mewes plays himself in the movie. Yeah. It would have been better had Henry Rollins played himself. Because he's a motivational speaker in the movie. If I
Yes,
remember correctly.
that's correct.
And he's the least motivational speaker guy. He's not Tony Robbins like at all.
It just didn't work.
Like if he would have been like, holy shit, that's Henry Rollins. That would have been funny.
That would have been cool. Yeah, I agree.
But it's just, I just think it was, like you said, the wrong people got picked. And I would agree, the cinematography is not very good.
There's nothing good about it, but again, I guess I have to remember this isn't a Steven Spielberg movie.
No.
This was a movie picked by a first-time writer, and they gave first-time crew. Everything kind of comes together, and
Well, let me
it's
ask you a
thrown
question.
together.
How would
and
you react if you were on that reality show and you had to direct a movie while being the star of a reality show. Do you think that would affect how you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I remember,
you got Ben Affleck and,
Yeah.
and you've got Matt Damon standing behind you going, dude, what are you doing?
And when Wes Craven.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What is this? You need to hurry up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could you imagine? Yeah. That's
Because not only do you have a first AD telling you to hurry up, you have a TV crew who needs to get stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
got to affect the movie. I mean, there's no way about it.
Oh yeah, we need to get that shot again because
Yeah.
we didn't get you cussing. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have time to do this again.
Right. I do remember an interview with the director where he said, like, a big thing the show was him and the cinematographer looked like they hated each other. He's like, yeah, that was 5 minutes out of every day where we got into an argument. He said 95% of the time it was great.
Right.
He said, but they don't pick that.
They picked the 5 minutes that
Right.
we flipped.
And I mean, like I said, it's not going to be anybody's favorite monster movie.
I just, God damn, I hated it. I mean, I fucking absolutely.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking 15 minutes into it, I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I hated the look
The
of
maggots
it.
in the hair. I'm like, what is it?
I hated the look of it.
Right.
You know, like Garrick was talking about, I did not care anything about any of the characters. I didn't care about what was going on in the bar. I couldn't tell you anybody's name.
No.
You know, I'm an hour and a half into it, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And honestly, I think it would have maybe been, it might have been better had they just left the fucking monsters out of it. Or not
Shown them.
not shown them as much,
Right.
or you know, just maybe glimpses or something.
Right.
Maybe it would have been a little bit better because they looked terrible.
Yeah.
Everything about it was just a joke. I mean, I just it's the one movie that we've watched in the how many episodes, 35 or however, that I did not take
30,
one note, not one
38.
note.
Yeah.
I just wrote the name down and nothing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have anything good to say. I didn't have anything. I didn't want to talk about it. I really didn't even want to finish it.
Yeah.
But I did. And then I looked and I saw, well, wait a minute, there's a second one and a third one of this.
Right.
And there's no way in fucking hell I'm going to watch
Yeah.
these.
I got about 10 minutes into the second one.
Yeah.
And a baby gets eaten. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm good.
I'm good. I was like, yeah.
Wow.
And I hate to. And I will admit, it's a funny gag. Guy's running, and he sees the baby in the street because it's like chaos. Like the monsters have taken over the town. And he grabs the baby, and they're gaining on him. He just like tosses it to the monster. I'll admit it's a funny gag, but damn, is it fucked up.
Are they done by the same?
I can't remember.
Nobody knows.
Nobody
Same director.
cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. That's the
I
problem.
just, you know,
Nobody cares
You
if
can
any of
give-
them.
you
Did
can
any
give
of them
them-
live?
yeah.
One lives, right?
Three of them.
Three
The
of
old
them.
man lives. The bartender.
The old man lives,
And
the
he
like
one lives, and then
Balthazar Getty lives.
Balthazar Getty.
But I
from,
don't think he's in 2 or 3.
But they all three live
Yeah.
at the end of it. And I just,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I've watched a ton of movies like this.
Yeah.
That I loved, that were entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, like From Dusk Till Dawn, it's the same kind of premise.
Right.
Yeah.
This was just goddamn garbage. Man.
Was it?
I hated it.
And that's the thing. It's a product.
Right.
It's not a. And there's a lot of movies that are products.
Oh, sure.
But you know, the person making them wants to make that.
Hell, Zombeavers was basically the same damn
Right.
thing.
But you can tell the people in that movie they wanted to make that movie.
Right.
And you
Right.
say, you know, and it's just, I mean, like I said, I hadn't watched it.
I'd never
Since it
seen it
came out.
before. I'd never seen it.
I saw it. I may have never actually watched the DVD because I saw it in the theater, and it was a great screen because it was at the one night screening. It was more like us going to the movies, you know, to see it was great.
Right.
The best thing that happened was it was at the Valentine movie theater, the Valentine Commons, super fancy movie theater. And as we're going up there, this guy, giant dude, big, like 2 foot high, blue mohawk, sleeveless, rancid T-shirt. His little girlfriend is there. They're going to see something else. And he goes, "Well, you guys going to see?" I said, "I'm going to see this monster movie about these people trapped in a bar." He's like, "Oh, that sounds better than I'm going to see." And he looked over at his girlfriend, and she was like, "We're going to see this." And I could tell it just defeated him. Whatever they were going to see, he was just like, "Damn." And that's all I think of when I think of the movie.
Well, but I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I would have rather have been that guy and watched whatever the fuck he went and saw.
Absolutely.
as
That
opposed to
woman
sit
said,
through
for once, the
Yeah.
woman probably, whatever they went
She
to
was
see was
right.
probably
Yeah.
them.
She was definitely right. I just,
Yeah.
and I hate to be so down on something, really. But
No, it's fine. Yeah, and
like
it's just
make
been
it,
an
make
overall.
it black and white. Don't show the creature so much. Do something that I haven't seen 1,000 times.
Where did they come from?
They don't say.
They don't say.
They don't say.
Man.
They never say.
It just was jumbled,
yeah.
and it just didn't. Nothing about it worked.
Jumbled
for
is a
me.
good word.
Yeah,
It's a good
it
word.
just
Yeah.
seemed. like there was no flow to it. Like
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
I struggled through it. I mean, I'm talking like I would sit through 5 showings of the Phantom Thread back to back to back to back to back before I would sit through one more showing of Feast. That's how much.
Did you hate it more than Terrifier?
No.
Ah!
Because at least the tone is fun.
It has some humor to it, and it's somewhat light. Yeah.
There's similar gore, but it's like Terrifier takes itself way too seriously.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Yeah. Well, I agree. It's been overall, just a waste of Monster Week for me because I haven't got to see any cool
had
stuff.
you been able to watch something, what would you have tried to catch? Just something random, or did you have something in mind
I was
that you
going to
wanted
go
to
back
watch?
to the Roger Cormans. I'll catch up for next week, but I was going to go back and do not Zombeavers, but the movies like that.
Yeah, I mean,
that was my plan.
Humanoids from the Deep was
Messed me
perfect.
up.
Yeah.
It's perfect for. It's the kind of monster movies that at least I know that I like. You know, I think Lee likes kind of the same kind of. I mean, are they out there a little bit? Are they kind of under the radar? Are they kind of B-grading? Sure, but when I think of great horror movies, a lot of them kind of fall into that. I like more B-grade horror movies than I like big name horror movies.
I would totally agree with that.
Or monster movies, if you will. Yeah, for sure. And whatever you want to call Feast, I don't recommend it to anybody.
Now, I will say one thing about Feast. I found out something that's... when the goose puked on, he was covered in maggots. Found out that's my girlfriend's least favorite thing on earth is looking at maggots.
Did you make her sit through this?
Oh, yeah.
Jody got about 5 minutes into the beginning, and she was like, "Nope, I'm going upstairs. I'm not watching anymore. This is fucking terrible." I was like, "God, can I come with you?" No. All right, I'll sit down there and watch it myself.
We finish it.
And I did.
We finished it, Casey. We finished it for you.
Yeah.
We're big fans of it, but we finished it for it. We did not finish it, or we finished it, but we cannot recommend it to anyone.
If it's on, if it's free, if it's on the streaming thing you have and you like monster movies,
Do some
If there is
sit-ups.
a fucking nuclear war, and you have a battery-powered DVD player and television, and this is the only entertainment that is left on planet fucking Earth, set it on fire.
Do
no
some
way I'd
sit-ups.
watch it again. Yeah.
Do some push-ups
Go
instead.
for a run. Do anything that you can. Like rewind some videotapes. Go wash your hair. This was just. I just wish I had something positive to say about it, and I absolutely do not in this case. I just hated it. I mean, I felt like I was going to get sick a couple of times just because of that like shuddery camera work. And I've seen that plenty of times before, and it works and it looks great. In this case, it just made me want to vomit, and not because it was gross, just because I felt like I was going to have a seizure. That's it. No more Feast.
There you go.
We
That's
feasted
it.
on Feast.
there you go.
We'll call it quits
Yeah, for sure.
on the old Feast.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Yep. So, we got some news.
I do. I got a few things.
Okay.
Start with the one kind of similar to what you were talking about earlier. Apparently, you were talking about having all these streaming channels. Got to pay for this, got to pay for that.
Yes.
Apparently, Warner Brothers, the DC channel has not gone over well. They've already canceled the Swamp Thing show, which conflicting reports as to why that is. The people in the production say it's because the state of North Carolina screwed up the tax incentives.
I believe that.
North Carolina says it's not because they said there was two ones. There was the pilot one, which is different than the series one. And he was like, maybe they thought they were going to get that pilot one throughout, is what they were saying.
Right.
But
that doesn't make any sense, though. Why would you give them why are you going to give, we're going to give you a bigger discount to do one.
Yeah.
And not give you the better discount to do all of them here? That doesn't make sense, North Carolina. That's a bunch of bullshit.
It probably is.
100% a bunch of bullshit.
It
smells like.
Now they're talking about doing a Warner, everything Warner in one channel. Like it'll be $16 to $17 a month. It'll include HBO, Cinemax, a lot of the DC stuff. Pretty much it'll just be all everything under one. So if you don't have HBO Go or whatever, you just pay $2 extra a month for this, and just get 5 times the streaming stuff.
I hope that happens soon.
I do too, but that's $17. That's a lot of money for one. I mean, granted, like I said, it's a lot of content, but if you have to. I mean,
you'd be able to watch any Warner Brother movies.
I don't know about any, but
they'll probably shelter them in and out.
Yeah, shelter them in
and
and out.
Give you,
no, they're not going to give you everything. But
it's still nice, though.
I mean, it's a good idea. But I mean, at one point, streaming channels went from being an alternative to cable. Now it's just cable.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. Like you got Amazon. You know,
Prime and Netflix.
Plus another $20 a month if you round it up, $2 for Warner Media. And I don't know. I'd have to pretty much drop everything else to justify paying.
Oh yeah. I mean, Netflix is $15 or $16.
Yeah.
It's getting to drop zone.
Yeah.
Quick.
It is really.
Because when I first had Netflix, like 2010, there was so many. It was like Prime now.
It was
so
great,
many movies.
Man. Yeah.
Now it's like you get Netflix for the original series, and I don't watch enough of them to justify.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've become like all original content,
Yeah.
and it's different now because you just.
Now Prime is for movie lovers. Prime is where it's at.
Oh, it is
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I 100% agree. You get the archives on that thing.
Yeah.
They're way back. You can find movies like
you said during the martial arts block last month. You put in the word ninja in the search bar, and 500 movies come up.
Yeah, it was more like 1,500 movies came up. Yeah, I mean, a ton that you've never seen, ton you've never heard of.
Right.
Yep.
All the way from the 50s to the early 90s.
Yeah.
Tons.
Yeah. My only other news story is they're going to do a new Robocop movie, but it isn't have anything to do with the remake. It is actually the original. There are two guys who wrote the first one. They wrote a sequel that didn't get made, and they eventually just made Robocop 2. This is the sequel that was written in between the first two movies, and they're going to do it with the original suit. I don't know if Peter Weller's going to do it because he's kind of he's an art professor now. I don't know if he necessarily wants to be covered.
He might be in it.
100 pounds of plastic. In, 100 degree heat.
He'll have to do a cameo one way or the other.
But I mean, the original writers, Neil Blomkamp, the guy who did District 9, he's going to direct it.
Oh, sweet!
Yeah,
I'll give it a day.
It sounds interesting. I think that had taken that old unproduced script and doing something with it. I think they're going to update it just for references and stuff, But that's an interesting idea.
What did you think of the most recent remake?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you have not
No,
seen
I
it?
didn't see it. It's like PG.
Wait, they remade it?
In 2014?
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
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 I never saw it either.
No.
I
didn't even know it existed.
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah. When I saw PG-13,
Yeah.
Robocop was like, no.
It's no.
Because he's still him, right? He still has his own memories, right? He's still that guy.
Kind of.
Yeah, like he's not like Robocop. He's like still Alex Murphy a little bit, I think. In there.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like that's not that defeats the purpose of the movie. Then he's just a random dude who's just made of metal.
He's a cyborg.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There was a remake of Robocop.
It's got Michael Keaton in it. It's got Samuel Jackson. It's got a huge cast.
Did I miss this completely? Where was I in 2014? Was I under a rock?
You may have been.
I may have been.
Well, I'll be the first to tell you. You didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Like I say,
there's a lot of CGI.
I'm sitting here trying to think of any details, and none are coming to me because that's how unforgettable. Forgettable it was.
Huh. Well, there you go. Well, that's why do you think Hollywood's making so? Why is everything being remade?
Money.
But they can justify spending the money because it's a known property.
Yeah.
Whereas original script you order somebody else's.
Like Feast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that had named producers in it.
True.
That had there has to be a.
That was original content.
That's true. That's true. But there has to be a known element, like a producer, a director, And but it's just like But if it's a name like Robocop, everybody knows the name Robocop. Even people haven't seen it.
Oh, I forgot something that I did watch. I don't know why that. You just reminded me. I guess it's because we were talking about Red Sonja last week.
Right.
The original's on Prime, and I watched it.
How was it?
It was fucking awesome. I hadn't seen it in.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah, probably 25 years, and
Yeah.
it was maybe longer than that. It's great, dude. Rashid Nielsen, the small kung fu kid, and his big tubby bodyguard, and Arnold, and I just forgot a lot about it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get Oliver to really pay much attention to it,
Well,
but I liked it. And I hope that the remake lives up to the original. We'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Well, you got some movie?
I did. From 2008 movie called Splinter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Have you seen Splinter?
I think I have seen Splinter.
Yeah, guys, it's a simple, like, you're trapped in a gas station, and the monster is this, like, I don't know what you got, like, almost like a plant. Like, you get splinter it, and it, like, reproduces, and, at one point, it can, like, if it's two people and they get die, it can, like, push them back together, and they almost use them like a puppet. Like, it's for a very low-budget, creepy movie, And the monster is original. Like, it's, you can shoot them out, shoot out the quills and hit somebody and they're infected. And, very low, but the guy who did it was a special effects artist.
Where can you see it? Is it on Shudder or did you rent it?
It is on Shudder, I think.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Splinter,
yeah. But just simple monster movie. There's one, there's like some couple not great lines in it. One is when a guy's arm gets infected, he passes out and he wakes up and they tell him, "It's okay, we're just cutting your arm off." And, but I mean, just simple low budget monster movie. I think it has like 6 people in the cast.
Right.
And it's another movie like Feast, where they're stuck in a gas station.
Right. Yeah, in a gas station. Yeah, because one of the guys is like an escaped convict. He goes to rob the gas station. It's sort of everything.
That must just be the setup. Can we do that? Can we just make a movie? 3 guys doing a podcast get stuck in an office.
Yeah.
A kid.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then we just have to come up with something.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it just needs
and
to
then
be
do some
something.
freeze frames to be like Doug Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Splinter. All right, I'll check it out. I've got a showdown this week.
Okay.
If you remove the guns. The 2 movies that I watch have 2 of the probably my generation badasses in the actual movies. Derek Vineyard in American History X and Seth Gecko from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
If you put the guns down, who wins that fight?
Is it pre-prison Vineyard or post-prison Vineyard?
Oh, come on! It's Say Goodnight Vineyard.
Oh well, I'll take him in a fight against anybody.
Yeah. Right before he puts his hands behind his back and surrenders.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. There's the showdown. Quick and easy this week. It should be against 2 monsters. We could actually... I was thinking about doing Godzilla and King Kong, but that's an easy one. I think Godzilla just torches him and it's all over with.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Who knows?
Well, yeah. Who knows?
I mean, if they have this, I would like to see the fight.
Well, they're shooting right now.
That's what I'm saying. So, there has to be more to it than that.
Yeah,
or does he just burn all his fur off and then he's got like monkey scale or something under it to where it's flame retardant?
He's got monkey nipples.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
And the nipples have missiles in them.
I mean, when you read the script or something?
Yes.
When
Yes.
you're putting those 2 things together, who knows what you're going to get?
Yeah. Well, so then there you go. So we'll do 2 this week. We'll do Godzilla against King Kong, and then in the real world, we'll do Derek Vineyard against Seth Gecko. Well, there you go.
There you go.
I don't have any events, man.
Yeah.
The summer is halfway over already. 4th of July is just passed. And, my life is passing before me. And I can't hold on to it. It's just going away. Wow. Was that depressing?
It's reality.
I know. You get all quiet like, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's reality.
Way to end the podcast on an up note, Garrick.
Yeah, okay, on an up note, we got 2 more weeks of Monsters.
Yep.
And hopefully I'll get my prom back and be able to give some guys some good reviews on some good movies.
What have we got coming up next, Garrick? I can't remember.
Let's just say kids. From here on out.
No, I think it has to stay.
Great. I cannot wait.
And then them.
Them. Right.
So we have 2 more weeks to be able to watch some cool old B-grade movies, and then we'll be getting into westerns.
Yep.
That'd be interesting.
Wah, wah, wah. Doo-doo-doo. Wah, wah, wah.
Wow, 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 wow.
You've never played a fucking instrument in your life. Why are you folk playing the piano when nobody's watching? It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Is it a piano or is it like a, I don't know, it's something. It looks like a steel guitar /
Wow, 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 wow. Well, that's it for this week.
This week's Tales from the Video Store episode is brought to you by Golden Ticket Cinemas, GTC Cinemas. This week, Spider-Man Far From Home and Toy Story 4, and Table Rock Creative, video for your business.